We've got a new trailer for the How to Train Your Dragon live action remake, and I feel like we've seen this all before. Let's take a look. Okay, so we all know we've got a live action remake of How to Train Your Dragon on the way, and our first full-length trailer is here. There's probably not a great deal to say about this. Much of it comes directly from the teaser trailer, which we got a couple of months back, though we do get a few new looks at some of the dragons and some of the supporting characters that didn't get a huge screen time in the first trailer. There's quite a huge focus on Stoick the Vast here, who is of course portrayed again by Gerard Butler, who voiced the character in the animated films. He looks fantastic and totally fit for the part. We actually get quite a bit of Astrid in this trailer too, who was pretty much absent from the teaser trailer. Most interestingly, a lot of the scenes she appears in here were in the teaser, but had her cut out of them. This is a move that a lot of studios make in trailers by manipulating heavy CGI'd scenes for one reason or another. It's possible they wanted to work up the big reveal of Astrid in this trailer, but I think the studio had another motive here, especially as they released behind the scenes footage of Astrid alongside that first teaser. Of course, we have Nico Parker in the role of Astrid, a casting which has caused all kinds of controversy online, from why isn't her hair blonde to why isn't her skin white? Parker, who, by the way, is the only member of the core cast with Scandinavian ancestry and is 3/4 English and 1/4 Nigerian, has met with plenty of backlash for taking up the role. And I'm almost certain that the studio expected this and tried to keep her out of as much of that initial promo as possible. They could have done this to protect Nico, but more than likely they probably did it to protect themselves from backlash. But Astrid is here now, and I think she looks great, say what you will. This movie looks fun and entertaining and genuinely looks very well made. I'm almost certain it's going to be a great time at the theatre, but we do have to ask, why are we doing this? The original How to Train Your Dragon came out 15 years ago. The third installment in that trilogy came out only 6 years ago. I'm not against remakes, but this one feels like the most baffling and unnecessary one of these animation to live action things that we've had so far. Of course, when you compare some of the scenes from the trailers alone to the original movie, they were near shot-for-shot replication. According to journalist Brandon Davis, director Dean DeBlois, who directed both versions of the film, has mentioned that they barely changed the script between versions. This seems pretty wild to me. If you're going to remake one of these things, surely your focus is on adding something new to the story, a new, different take on the source. Granted, DeBlois also had this to say in a new interview on Davis's Phase Hero podcast.
I always felt like, in terms of the mythology, I wanted to explain where these warriors came from, why they were there on that island, what they were up to. We get to explore that in a much better way. And then there were characters that were underserved, Astrid being one of them, I think. As much as I liked the character in the animated movie, I felt like, had we the time, I would have given her a little more character depth and understand where she's coming from and what she has to lose by siding with Hiccup in this story. So we were really able to play into that acrimonious relationship from the beginning and how it develops and how ultimately she becomes his biggest supporter and the first convert to his way of thinking when it comes to dragons.
This gives me a little bit of hope that maybe we will be seeing some new stuff, but how substantial will it be? Interestingly, when you break it down, this new version has a newly revealed runtime of 1 hour and 56 minutes, while the original runs for 1 hour and 38 minutes. That's around a 20-minute discrepancy here, so here's hoping we do get some substantial differences, and this difference in time isn't just a matter of extra long credits and a slightly slower live-action pacing. Whatever it may be, I'm sold on seeing this, and I'm sure it's going to be pretty enjoyable, but there's a lot of caveats going into it. I'm hoping they do something great with this, and we don't leave disappointed. And at that, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this? Are you excited for the live-action How to Train Your Dragon? As always, join the conversation down below.